Welcome to this explainer. You know, when you look out at the ocean, it's so easy to just see water. But what you're actually looking at, it's the stage for a massive, meticulously choreographed global blockbuster. It's this dynamic, high-stakes universe of trade that literally keeps our modern world running. Today, we're going to explore the incredible cast of characters, the powerful alliances, and the hidden syndicates that write the script for global shipping. Let's get right into it.
So, have you ever wondered who's actually coordinating all of this behind the scenes? I mean, when we talk about just the independent tanker fleets alone, we are talking about 160 million deadweight tonnage moving across our oceans every single day. Ship owners and charterers are incredibly busy people, right? They can't be everywhere at once. So we're going to uncover this hidden world of maritime dealmakers, guilds, and syndicates that act as the vital connective tissue of global trade.
All right, Section 1. The Fixers, Dealmakers of the Sea.
Think of the shipbroker as the ultimate maritime talent agent. Their entire job is to match a star vessel to a blockbuster cargo, negotiating and fixing charters while making absolutely sure their clients' interests are fiercely protected. You can basically break these brokers down into 6 crucial archetypes. Honestly, kind of like characters in a heist movie. You've got the shipowner's broker hunting for cargo and the charterer's broker looking for ships. The coasting broker, they handle the coastal trade for both sides. Then you have an exclusive broker who acts as the sole, confidential agent for an owner, while a competitive broker steps in as the middleman between different exclusive brokers. And finally, there's the cable broker, constantly feeding everyone the absolute latest world market trends and shifting political scenarios. Now, for all this high-stakes matchmaking and the grueling hours spent negotiating these colossal deals, these brokers usually pull in a 1.25% commission from the shipowner.
But hey, beyond just moving the cargo itself, there's the intense, high-stakes world of buying and selling the actual ships. Enter the sale and purchase broker. These folks need a really thorough knowledge of freight markets, ship construction, and incredibly complex global regulations. And the secondhand ship market? Oh, it is unbelievably covert and highly competitive. Deals are definitely not just posted on some public bulletin board. They rely on whispered, closely guarded phrases like price believed to be in the region of. The broker's job here is to dig up any abnormal history of a vessel and safely guide their client through the shadowy waters of international ship trading.
Moving on to Section 2, the Guilds, alliances that move the world.
So who actually sets the rules of engagement for these fixers? Well, 4 major syndicates basically govern how the sea is navigated commercially. First up, you've got BIMCO. Headquartered in Copenhagen, this is the largest private organization in the maritime industry. Get this, they're the ones who actually write the standard forms and contracts that everyone uses. Then you have ICCHCA, and they are the absolute experts dedicated to improving cargo handling techniques, and they've been doing that since 1951. FONESPA operates globally to champion the profession of shipbrokers and agents. And finally, Intercargo, founded back in 1980. They fiercely defend the interests of dry bulk ship owners, specifically those operating massive vessels over 3,000 gross tonnage.
But you know, it's not just private alliances steering the ship here. Governments actually play a massive role too. Take Transchart, for example. Operating under India's Ministry of Surface Transport, this single largest agency acts as the chartering wing for the government. By aggressively negotiating freight rates for these massive imports, we're talking coking coal for steel plants, fertilizers, crude oil, Transchart secures competitive rates that save substantial foreign exchange for India's public sector. It really proves that a centralized, transparent operation can flex some incredible muscle on the global stage.
Which brings us to Section 3, the Marketplace, the historic Baltic Exchange. Okay, so where does the global industry actually look to figure out what a voyage should cost? Well, they turn to London's historic Baltic Exchange. Now, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill marketplace. It is literally the world's only dedicated shipping exchange. To put that into perspective, it's estimated that 3/4 of the world's tramp market bulk cargo movement is, at some stage, handled by its members. Over 600 companies and 2,000 individuals trade on this floor, making it the supreme hub for maritime data and deal-making.
And to protect against wild price swings, the industry uses freight forward agreements to hedge their bets. The Baltic Exchange forward assessments basically provide mid-prices for both dry routes, think massive Capesize and Panamax ships, and wet routes, which are categorized into clean and dirty liquid cargoes. These daily assessments are compiled from a global panel of brokers, and they act as the trusted settlement tool for some pretty complex financial derivatives. It is the ultimate benchmark for the bulk market's performance.
All right, Section 4, the Titans, Energy and Ocean Safety.
When we're dealing with crude oil, the stakes absolutely skyrocket.
Here we encounter two massive organizations, the 41-member Oil Company Alliance, known as OCIM, and the 11-member powerhouse of producing nations, OPEC. Now, since 1960, OPEC has sought to unify petroleum policies through a strict quota system. But as you might guess, this isn't always a smooth process. Take a look at this high-stakes standoff. Saudi Arabia, the world's largest producer, has blamed Venezuela for producing well above its agreed OPEC quotas. On the flip side, Venezuela, hungry for market share, blames Saudi Arabia for failing to cut its own windfall production. Tensions ran so high at one point that a Venezuelan oil minister even referred to an OPEC meeting as a gathering of Pinocchios. Ultimately, it was a non-OPEC country, Mexico, that stepped in to help break this massive deadlock. It just goes to show how incredibly complex and fragile the global energy consensus really is.
Balancing out the oil producers are the people who actually transport all that oil. Enter Intertanko. They are the elite vanguard representing independent tanker owners. If you exclude oil companies and governments, Intertanko speaks for over 1,800 tankers. That accounts for a staggering 71% of the world's independent tanker fleet. That is a massive chunk of the market.
But getting in isn't easy. To be a part of this vanguard, vessels must pass some seriously rigorous initiation protocols. First, members must hold a full IACS class certification, basically proving top-tier structural integrity. Second, they have to maintain a massive $500 million protection and indemnity insurance policy. And third, they must strictly comply with the international safety rules of the ISM code. These strict, totally non-negotiable steps ensure that only the safest, most responsible operators fly the Intertanko flag.
Speaking of safety, let's talk about a real turning point in maritime history. The year was 1993, and the industry was facing mounting pressure over substandard shipping and devastating oil spills. In response, the Oil Companies International Marine Forum, or OCIMF, launched a blockbuster safety initiative, the Ship Inspection Report Program, widely known as SIR.
And the impact? It's been absolutely monumental. Since that launch, over 180,000 safety inspection reports have been submitted to the SIRA database. By requiring a uniform inspection protocol, SIRA provides a transparent, up-to-date risk assessment tool that's used by charterers and governments worldwide. It has entirely transformed ocean safety by making it virtually impossible for substandard ships to hide.
And the industry just keeps evolving beyond basic compliance. Enter TMSA, the Tanker Management and Self-Assessment Program. Now, this isn't just a simple checklist. It provides companies with key performance indicators. It establishes a minimum expectation at level 1, sure, but then it pushes companies through 3 higher levels of best practice guidance. It challenges operators to really look in the mirror, develop phased improvement plans, and achieve pristine, industry-leading safety and pollution prevention practices.
As we look out over this bright, cinematic horizon of global commerce, we kind of have to pause and marvel at the machinery underneath it all. From the highly specialized shipbrokers whispering deals in the Baltic Exchange, to the fierce negotiations of Transchart and OPEC, to the rigorous safety standards bearers at Intertanko and OCIM, we've uncovered the hidden forces that keep our world fueled and supplied. So, I leave you with this to ponder. With all these powerful fixers, historic guilds, and energy titans quietly moving the world's wealth, who is truly steering the ship of global trade? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep looking beyond the horizon.